When we go on vacation, my wife always wears heels. However, she can't walk anywhere when she's in heels because her feet hurt. What should we do? Should she wear flats? Let's get into it right now. I'm Tommy. That's Lucy.
I'm Lucy. Hi, guys.
Welcome to Mom versus Dad. We're talking about heels or flats while on vacation. We just had an awesome trip to Las Vegas for my 40th birthday. We had a wonderful time.
We sure did.
I love walking in cities, touristing, doing all the things.
Is that a word?
Touristing, but you don't do any of the things.
Touring, maybe?
Touring.
Touring a city? Yeah.
Touring, but you don't do the things because you want to wear heels, which you look great. You look awesome. But then we can't go anywhere.
Well, Las Vegas is a perfect example.
Talk to me.
Okay?
Yeah.
I am now 39.
39.
On the brink of 40.
Looking good, girl.
And we're in Las Vegas. There's bachelorette parties.
Love Vegas.
There's 21st birthday parties there. People are hot. People are tight. Their ass hasn't fallen. Their boobs haven't fallen. Their legs don't have cellulite. They are on fleek. Okay, so. I go as a 39-year-old, and yeah, I want to look hot. I want to try to compete, maybe not compete, but at least like level up a little, to at least like be in like the ballpark of hotness that I once was. So, and there's two parts to this. One, I never leave my house, like ever, besides pick up and drop off and like running errands. So my life is pretty redundant. Pretty boring. So when I go somewhere, like last summer we went to Europe. We just got back from Vegas. Like, I want to be cute. I want to wear all the cute outfits. I want to wear the cute shoes. And my legs look taller and thinner when I wear heels.
And you look amazing in heels or in flats, but then we can't do things. So case in point, like one of my favorite things.
We can do things. We just might have to take transportation.
One of my favorite things, but then you can't walk to different things at that destination.
Right, because I'm walking past a bunch of hot, tight ass, beautiful women that I'm threatened by.
So one of my favorite things is just kind of walking around the entire city and all the hotels and all that. So I do it up by myself, which is fine too. I enjoy that as well.
And you probably enjoy a lot of those cute girls in high heels.
I'll go and take a long walk, which is cool. But like, for example, so we were staying at the Venetian, and we were going to a show at Harrah's right next door.
Right next door.
And Lucy was talking.
To be fair, Vegas right next door is the equivalent of like walking a football field.
It could take a little while, which one football field isn't far.
Yeah, it is.
One football field?
If you're in heels.
You would take a cab across a football field?
If you're in heels.
That makes no sense whatsoever. A football field is not far.
Okay.
They run down a football field in
Keep
8
going.
seconds.
Go back to your...
You run across football field in 8 seconds.
All right.
So anyhow, we're going to a show at Harrah's. So I didn't mind doing this because I'm just walking around the whole city the whole day anyway. But I actually walked to Harrah's, then walked back to the Venetian and checked out all the quickest routes. And I tried 3 or 4 different routes to figure out the best way to get there. Walking through the Strip, and you're correct, was not the quickest way. So then I actually had researched online a little bit. I heard that there was a secret way to get from the Venetian to Harrah's. Read about this weeks before. And because I was curious how close they would be. Because we didn't know we were going to that show, but we knew I wanted to go to Toby Keith's Bar and Grill. Right.
I love this bar.
Yeah.
Right.
Great spot.
Yep.
So anyhow, I found the best route, and with help from someone at Harrah's and someone at Venetian, and the security guards that both got together and they showed me the route, the quick route. You go down to the ground level in the parking garage at the Venetian. Then you walk right outside, and then you're at the entrance to Harrah's.
I don't think they care the details.
And we got it.
You're getting very specific.
Figured it out. But I did that for you. But sometimes I'm like, just wear sneakers so we could take a walk during the day.
That was super considerate that you ran or practiced a walkthrough, knowing that I would need a limited amount of walking. But I was able to wear my sparkly black stilettos.
They look great.
My legs got like toned up. My calves
fleek.
look good.
I
was on fleek.
On fleek.
I was slaying whatever the young kids say these days.
All going on.
And I felt good, which resulted in a really fun night.
It was a
Because
great
when
night.
you're happy wife, happy life, when your wife feels good and feels good about herself and how she looks, sometimes that benefits the husband quite a bit.
Yeah.
So I feel like it was a win-win. I
Yeah.
should have absolutely worn heels because we probably passed like 5 bachelorette parties in that short walk, and everyone's in spandex everything, in heels. So
okay.
if I was in like flip-flops, I'd feel
Yeah.
floppy.
But then where did we go recently where I carried we were in New York.
New York,
Yeah, so I carried and you wanted to wear heels
because
on the subway,
I
was like, no, we're not going to take taxis all around town so you could be in heels. So let me carry your flip-flops. Let me carry your heels.
On. I had
a
cute dress on.
You look great.
And as soon as I put the flip-flops on, I was like, I look ridiculous.
But it worked.
We got to where we needed to be.
We had like 6 destinations. We weren't going to take cabs. We took the subway throughout the afternoon.
And then as soon as we got to our off-Broadway show, I switched my flip-flops
and that was perfect.
to the heels.
I'll carry the heels anytime.
Yeah. In your cargo shorts that you no longer will be able to wear.
So actually, you get the results of one of our past arguments up now. But first, I'll say for this one, guys, we're going to put the vote up online, and you go to Mom vs. Dad Show on Instagram, at Mom vs. Dad Show. That's where we want you guys to give us feedback. Tell us what you think. Should a lovely lady like herself bring some alternate shoes to wear in a city that you're visiting so we can do more things together? That's the big question.
Or should a 39-year-old mom of 3 who never leaves her house be allowed to put some heels on, put some makeup on, get her hair did, feel hot for her husband to keep it hot?
Yeah. Yeah.
You should be voting for that.
Well, you just alter the vote. You just change the conversation completely.
Well, I think the question should be rephrased.
So we'll put the question up online, regardless of what it says. You guys are going to vote. All right. So do we have results from one of our previous shows and one of the arguments? All right, talk to me.
So one of the questions was, should mom be able to compare all of dad's injuries to childbirth for the rest of his life?
So a little backstory. So anytime I hurt myself, whether it's, a broken finger or a bee sting or whatever, Lucy doesn't have much sympathy for me because she gave birth, which I applaud you for. So what were the results like? Because we voted it's going to be completely different on the dad side and the mom side.
It's very funny. We put the poll up on Life of Dad and Life of Mom, and not surprisingly, the dads rallied behind Tommy with 61% said no, I should not be able to compare childbirth to all of your injuries. However, when asked on Life of Mom's page, 81% said yes, I should be able to compare childbirth to every one of your injuries. And when we're talking it's not serious life-threatening injuries.
Right.
He described a stubbed toe, a bee sting,
a vasectomy, a broken ankle, falling off the roof.
Yes.
Anyhow.
Okay.
What happens now is, so Lucy won that one. This is the apology. Babe, I'm so blown away by all the times you gave birth for our family. And it was beautiful, and it was heartful, and you put everything into that. Is that a right word?
Heartful?
Heartless?
Heartful?
Heart is heart. You had a ton of heart. I'm messing up the apology. You had so much heart, and it was amazing. When I go through small things such as a bee sting or, a hangnail, etc., I will no longer ask for sympathy. In this apology, I'm going to ask that if it's something serious, you're with me. But I haven't had that serious thing yet, so we're good.
Thank the Lord Jesus Christ for that. Thank you, Jesus.
That was my apology, but also my ask. You got my back.
If it's really serious, I will be the most empathetic wife you'll ever meet.
Yes.
But not for bee stings and stubbed toes.
And scraped chins.
And done. Okay. And done. Wrap it up.
All right. We're going to move on. So we have some friends, and we're going to talk about their question.
You're so loud. Why are you screaming?
We are talking about, let's be a little quieter. The next topic
He's
is going to
very
be from
excited.
John and Stevie, awesome husband and wife, friends that sent this in. So here we go.
Okay, this is John. I'm here with Stevie. Stevie,
Yeah.
in your words, what caused the fight we had last week?
Okay. I was home working all day. I had done all the stuff for the kids that morning, everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you called on your way home, and I said, "What do you want to do for dinner?" And you said, "Maybe on Thursdays when you work from home, maybe you could take care of dinner." But in my mind, I heard, "You need to do more around the house." And then it set me off for 2 days.
I think that's an accurate description. I'll give my side. I was long day at work, probably 9 hours, and my commute home from work is not fun, about an hour, and I was sitting in bumper-to-bumper traffic. And we have this thing we do. I mean, we both work full-time, and so figuring out dinner is something we always have to do on the way home, and it's kind of a stressful thing. And so, yeah, Stevie called me on my car ride home and asked,
Asked if you could go to the store on your way home because you were already in the car.
was it the store or
Yeah.
was it,
I said,
no.
"Do you want to stop and get something to eat for dinner?" And you said, "Maybe you could take care of this on your days off."
No, you
your
just
days
said,
from home."
because that's easier. But what you said was, what do you want to do about dinner? And I think it's just, it's not even coming home and cooking dinner. Because if you recall, I came home and cooked dinner that night. We had street tacos,
Well, yeah.
and they were delicious. Because I
'Cause
made them.
I went to the store and got all the stuff.
Yes, and then I passive aggressively made them like the most extra delicious
God,
tacos
they
I've
were
ever
so
made.
good, and I was so mad. I was like, "Ugh."
We had to just sit there and eat our delicious tacos in silence because
Yeah.
we were
Yeah.
staking
And to be fair,
that ground.
I did give you credit that afterwards, when I could take a step back, and it is not unreasonable for me to like start a slow cooker dinner while I'm home working. But at the time, it was said as, "You should do more," and that was.
That's not what I
It's
said.
not what you
though.
said, but
Oh,
that's
okay.
how I interpreted it.
Okay, that's fair. Anyway, Tommy, that's what we end up fighting about is just kind of the space in between when we get home from work and when we go to bed. A lot needs to be done, and we try to be as considerate of each other as we can, but I think when conflict arises, it's within that like 3 or 4 hour window about who's going to do what.
All right, so that is John and Stevie. We're going to call them in a little bit. I think it's something we can relate to, right?
Oh, yeah.
Coming home from work. So I work
That-
out of the house.
Yep.
And then when I come home from work around 5 or so, 6, depending on the day, it's around dinner time. It's also homework time. It's also get ready for bedtime.
Witching
It's
hour. Everyone's tired.
all of
Everyone's
that.
crabby.
So it's trying to figure out how to team up on that time.
Yeah.
And I think we definitely have different takes on it often. So
Right.
we're gonna let's get into this a little bit.
Well, first of all, John and Stevie, I feel so seen with your message. We have ongoing, weekly, if not daily, disputes in that time frame between Tom getting off work and the kids going to bed. It is by far the most stressful time of the day. The kids are overtired. There's a lot of tantruming. There's a lot of fighting. There's a lot of resisting homework, resisting dinner, resisting brushing teeth, resisting going to bed, fighting over bedtime stories and bedtime songs and all the things. Like you said, she was working all day. She was doing all the things for everybody. And then she felt like there was just one more ask, one more put on, like, instead of valuing and appreciating what she had done already all day. And I actually had an epiphany last week when we were fighting about something similar to this, Tom. And that is, I was at you saying, I do this, and this. And you're at me saying, well, I do this, and this. And I said, wow, we're both really good at it, pinpointing what we do, all the things we do to contribute to the family, right? But we're not so good at like taking a step back and seeing what the other person does. Like we can list off one by one all the things that we do to contribute. And I think that time of day is just a very elevated, very stressful time. I know as a mom that stays home and works from home with the kids, Tommy walking through the door, if he's even like the slightest bit late, I am like, where are you? Come home. I need you. I need help. I need reinforcement. So anything coming at me, I can definitely relate to that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I think and we'll hear more from them in a little bit, but I don't know if he said anything wrong. He was asking
didn't.
for help on
No.
that Thursday because she's home and he's coming home.
Right.
So I can relate to that in a lot of ways. Like if I'm coming home and I'm at work and then I'll get home and no one's had dinner, and including the kids or me, then I have to spend a half hour cooking. It's like, oh man,
and
I
her
just
ask
got,
was,
you know.
her ask was, you're already in the car coming home. Can you pick up some food for dinner? Which also doesn't seem like a hard ask.
No,
but
not
he
at all.
looked at it as like, oh, you're home. Why don't you make dinner? And I think it's, I think a lot of couples can relate to this argument. I feel like it is an ongoing thing that we feel on a daily, weekly basis.
Yeah.
I mean, my heart goes out to you guys because neither one of you are wrong. And there's how she interpreted that conversation. There's how he interpreted that conversation. And then somewhere in the middle is the actual factual truth of what was exactly said. But when you say or like do something to me, and I interpret it so far beyond what your intentions are, because I might be overly stressed, overwhelmed. Maybe the kids had extra tantrums that day. Maybe we had a meeting at school that didn't go well. I mean, all these factors build up. So I definitely feel for Stevie as the mom kind of at home with the kids. And, having a spouse that is able to kind of step away, remove himself from that kind of stressful.
Yeah. So let's call them up to let them in the conversation.
All right.
And we are dialing
It's so loud.
John now. Oh, it won't be once around.
Hello.
Hey, John, what's up? Tommy and Lucy here.
Hi, John.
Oh, hey, it's Chris and Lindsay.
Oh, Chris, I called you again. Oops, sorry, dude. We're doing another show, and we had you on the last show. All right, cool, man. Well, good talking again, and I'll talk to you later, right, mate?
All right, see you, buddy.
See you, bud.
Thank
Bye.
you. Keep that one on.
Yeah, right? So, okay, so I had the same number on that same sheet again. All right, let's do this again. Let me get his info in here. Info. All right, we'll just keep rolling. Art, you'll edit this out a little bit. We're just going to keep going.
Hello.
Hey, John, what's up, man? Tommy here.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Doing good.
Hi, John. It's Lucy.
Hey, Lucy.
Thanks so much for giving I don't know.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for kind of
joining us
and giving us that feedback. I feel
wait, Luce, hold on one sec. I think he's got to conference his wife in, right? Is that right, John?
Say again?
Do you have to conference Stevie in, or is she with you there?
Oh, no, she's not on yet, which is good because I can say right now that I'm right.
Totally.
And then I'm going to capitulate to that and completely reverse direction as soon as she's off the line. But whatever I say after I bring her on, doesn't count.
Yeah.
All right, hold on, let me go. Okay, I practiced this before you guys call. Let's see if it works. Stevie, are you on the line?
Yes.
Hi, Stevie. It's Lucy.
Hi.
Hey guys, all right. So I'm gonna fake it like you guys both like it rang and then you were both on the line magically. All right. So going
All
now.
right.
All right, John and Stevie. Hey guys, welcome. First off, the street
Hey.
tacos sounded absolutely amazing. So I wish I could have been there. Missed the mini argument, but been there for the tacos.
The
I get
passive
it.
aggressive street
Yes.
tacos. That especially, resonated to me. Like, I'm gonna make these so good,
I know.
just
Well,
out of
and eating them too. Like you didn't think you could like passive aggressively chew food, but you can.
yeah.
You can do
I've
Man,
been there.
these are good.
Yeah, because there's meals where we have 3 kids too, right? So it's insanity in the house sometimes, and I do more of the cooking in the house. And sometimes you want that perfect family dinner, and I'll make an amazing meal, but Lucy wants none of it. Even if the meal's great, her head is not in the game. So
Well-
I get it completely.
Well, and that's sometimes coming out of he's coming home from work. The kids have been on me like a leech, have been fighting and tantruming and demanding. And as soon as he walks through the door, I am like checked out. Like I need a reset button. And he's like, let's all sit down. I'm like, you go sit down with those wonderful kids of yours. I'm going to walk
Right.
away and watch a little Real Housewives and decompress.
I'm gonna go sit in a room where nobody touches me for a little while.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Exactly. No, your message it just like struck such a nerve with me because I feel that on a daily basis, if not it's something Tom and I like argue over on a weekly, daily basis. And it's not even what we're arguing over. It's the time of day, the setup, the background, like all the different scenarios that lead up to that moment, right? It's like
totally is.
it's like the witching hour. Like the kids are overtired, I'm overtired. Like I'm the stay-at-home work from home mom, so I'm with them from pickup until Tom gets home and he comes through the door, and he wants this perfect family dinner. But I loved how you guys said, you both kind of admitted, like, I didn't say that, but that's what I heard. Because that's how we communicate. I feel like there's how I interpret what Tom said, how he interprets what I said, and then the actual factual dialogue that took place.
Right.
Well, and after being married as long as we have, being together as long as we have, we tend to pick up on that. Like I joke that, you have those sort of like those shower arguments where, you're having this heated argument and, you're getting your point across and you're winning. I actually only win about half of the arguments that I have in my head with John. So that just sort of shows you like how we communicate is that we know the other person's trying to say something, but we're trying not to hear it one way. But occasionally, like you said, when it's just everybody's sort of on edge and it's been a long day, you just hear what you're going to hear.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just how it goes.
Like Tommy.
And to clarify, is Stevie said shower arguments, which is kind of a inside baseball term for us. It's when we're arguing with each other in our heads, like while we're alone in the shower.
Oh.
We're not actually getting in the shower.
I feel like everybody does that, doesn't it?
Oh.
That'd be a great
Other
fix.
people?
I argue.
I just didn't want people picturing us in the shower yelling at each other.
That would actually be amazing if it's like, okay, I will fight and dispute this, but we have to be in the shower together as we go at it.
We argue, so it's good.
I feel like that would rectify things pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
No.
I mean, you only have so much hot water, right?
Right.
You've got to make your point, and then get out.
I think you're onto something, guys. I definitely think you're onto something. Yeah. No. I.
Well, what you said, yeah, what you guys said earlier, what you said when we played the audio clip earlier, but then what Lucy said after that was, and you guys could probably relate, when we were arguing last week, and I was only thinking about all the things I do for the kids, and she was only thinking about all the things she does for the kids.
Oh, yeah.
And then that's going to lead to just an intense argument where we're just thinking about ourselves and knowing that we both do great things for our kids, right?
Yeah.
But we are not. Maybe you could help us there.
No.
We're not so good at communicating with each other what the other person is doing.
Well, yeah. I had that epiphany in that moment where like I'm opening the fridge and he's like, but I do da 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 da, and I had just finished saying I do da 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 da, and I'm like, wow, we don't acknowledge at all what the other person does. Like we know exactly in vivid detail what we have done and contributed to, but like we don't like stop and take a beat. And it was like an epiphany. I mean, we're 11 years in. It probably should have happened earlier, but it was definitely that moment of, oh. So, yes. My favorite is the passive-aggressive tacos, though. It's just, it's like, I'm going to come home and I'm going to make the best tacos you've ever had in your life. That is,
You did it.
That is new. That is a new
And you
strategy.
all sat with the kids, too? You all sat together? Just with the tension?
No. I don't, where were the kids? We should probably know that.
I don't know.
They were not
I
at the
think it-
table that night.
Oh, no, I passive-aggressively made the mac and cheese so that by the time John came home, I'm like, the kids have been fed.
Oh,
Right.
So
nice.
it's not my proudest moment.
Which is great. I just love that when we're angry, and this is in every situation. When Stevie and I are angry at each other, we are highly efficient at getting things done. Like I
Oh.
passive aggressively unload the dishes. She passive aggressively.
I
cleans
rage
the
clean.
bedroom.
Rage cleaning is very, I mean, it's very, cathartic really for me. So when he hears me cleaning, he's like, oh no.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
I can totally
Or if
relate
I'm
to
mad,
that.
I'm gonna unload the dishes, but I'm gonna do it loud. Like I'm gonna let the plates hit each other. It's a little bit harder than
I can
it usually
do this gently.
Oh no, I
Yep.
totally rage clean. I'm probably the most clean and efficient when I rage clean.
I don't rage clean,
Oh,
but I will try to become super dad just to
Yeah.
prove like, oh, I'm gonna read the kids 3 books tonight
Yeah.
just so I can show Lucy, right? And I'll read and read and tell them stories and make them laugh. And she's
is.
angry in the other room, but we're gonna have the time of our life, and we're gonna be loud, and I want her to hear this. I wanted to hear this
Yes.
fun that we're having.
And I passive
Sorry, I mean,
aggressively
like, really
pour.
serious, monumental conversations.
Yes.
Like, no, I'm gonna have the sex talk right
Yeah.
now.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're actually talking about that in
We're talking
one of
about
our
that.
upcoming episodes.
Yeah,
we
we'll
have that.
we'll tease it now. Lucy
Yeah.
had the sex talk with our son without including me. And I'm like, there's like 3 things in fatherhood, and I don't even know what the other 2 are, that you want to be a part of as a dad. Right?
I had an anatomy talk with our son about how
okay.
babies are made, and I was super specific, but I didn't go into like sex.
Right.
Like
Well,
it was like
he asked some.
there's a sperm in your penis, and
Right.
then I mean that's the kind of thing.
But then he was asking questions like, if I go on vacation with a girl, will the sperm, and we lay on the same mattress, will the
Right.
sperm get? Yeah.
That's for another time.
Yeah.
Really into it.
He was very curious after that.
Yeah.
See, our daughter's usually very inquisitive, very like she will ask question after question until she really drills down. And when we had to talk about at least not how babies are made, but how they get out,
Right.
because we had that conversation. That was the one time where we're like, well, babies come out through the vagina, and this happens. She's like, okay, great, that's all I needed
Yeah.
to know. Okay, and she like got up and just walked away. We're like, oh, okay, we'll finish this later.
Yeah. No, that's I think because I grew up in Irish Catholic family, youngest of 12 kids, nobody was allowed to talk about sex. Even though like half my family got pregnant before marriage, we just didn't talk about sex. So I
Somehow
feel like
I think those 2 things might be related.
yeah, right? You think? No, there's no coincidence there. But I definitely think like that had a play on me because I was so curious and I had those questions and I had to find out from like the Cosme boys down the block who were like yelling it, out across the street at us, So I wanted to be really specific with our kids. When he asked, I was there.
Yeah.
You were at work, so
Yeah.
I passive aggressively told them
You did it.
about how to make babies.
There was nothing passive about your
Passive
explanation. It was a very
And then Tommy
aggressive.
came home and made tacos.
Yeah.
Very intentional. While your dad is working, we're going to go sit down and break it down.
So let me ask you guys this, because you guys so eloquently in your, a lot of times when we do these, someone has a issue, but you guys resolved it in your message, right? Which was fantastic, right? So I guess my question is there anything, beyond what we've chatted about, anything you want to share with maybe couples that haven't been together as long about how you guys are kind of dealing with situations like that? Hopefully coming to a resolution quicker than maybe some others do.
I mean, you know what? You go ahead, Stevie. I want to hear what you got.
What I want to say. Yeah, we actually talked about this the other day. I mean, John and I have been together, for a long time. Like I said, we're 12 years together, 10 years married, and we don't fight often. We can count on one hand the number of times we've even gone to bed mad at each other in 12 years.
That's impressive.
It is like we resolve fights very quickly, and
That hand might have a few extra fingers on it. It might be like a mutated.
Yeah, he's got some weird mutated thing with like 15
Anne
fingers on
Boleyn.
it, but the thing is that we notice, like with our fighting, and I have a sister, I have a little brother, and so when I would fight with them growing up, you were kind of trying to cut at them a little bit. You were going low on them, but with John and I, we're never fighting to make the other person mad, or we're really just fighting to defend our own position. And I think that helps a lot, just being in that mentality of, I'm not trying to make you feel worse, I'm trying to make myself feel better or get my point across. And that's how our arguments have always been. And so they're a little bit easier to resolve when you can kind of step back and say, okay, I need to hear your side, I need to listen to it. And in the end, we usually just realize, you know what, we really don't feel like fighting anymore.
That is immensely mature of both of you. Are either of you therapists and counselors? Because it sounds like you guys have the secret sauce that we could definitely use.
No. I work in marketing. Maybe that counts.
I'm a computer programmer, so yeah, I'm opposite of somebody that's good with people. So
well, and I
will say what's been nice for us, and it's taken us a while. It's not like we were good at fighting for the first few years. We were just afraid to fight, and that doesn't mean that that's good, right? Like we went our first 3-4 years without having a major fight, and that wasn't because we didn't disagree. It was because we didn't like to fight.
Right.
And so we've learned to argue, and we've learned to fight. And one of the things I think is most comforting to me is the ability to not immediately resolve everything. Like, we can just be mad at each other for a while.
Right.
And I'm never worried. Like, we've gone to bed mad a few times, and it's not. That's fine, because I'm not going to bed worried that I'm going to wake up tomorrow and that's going to be it. It's like,
right.
We can take some time. We can wrap our heads around it. Usually, one of us figures out that we're wrong, and there's no shame in apologizing. And usually, we both find our way to an apology. But that doesn't have to happen. Like, there's no time-gated thing on that. That doesn't have to happen in an hour or 2 hours or 8 hours. We'll find our way, and that's been really comforting. And it's taken us a while to get to that point. It took a decade of being together and fighting with love, I guess.
No, I think
and
that's
it also
amazing.
helps to have a big enough space we can be away from each other.
Right.
Like, all right, you take your side of the house, I'll take mine.
Yeah, it was a lot harder in our one-bedroom apartment.
It was. That was really hard.
No, I am of the saying, don't go to bed angry. I'm of the opposite. Mm-hmm. I sometimes need a night to cool off and be mad and sulk and then like kind of wake up a little more rational, because I feel like if I just keep going, I'll say things that are almost worse, Mm-hmm. So I'm like, like Tommy's gotten so good at like seeing when I start to, like, my Irish temper starts to elevate. He's like, maybe I'm going to walk away right now. And I go to bed and I pout, but I feel like I wake up, generally speaking, unless I'm totally right.
Yeah.
Like, I tend to be like, okay, that was stupid.
Yeah, and I would also say I find that I think we disagree on a lot of things, and that's kind of the point behind us doing this show here, but we don't argue. We don't really argue about them. You know what I mean? Like I
Right.
think we have completely different takes on so many different things. It's kind of astounding.
Right.
But
I'll
they're
tell
not
you.
worth fighting about for the most part. You know what I mean?
But I love
Yeah.
I love what you two both said, John and Stevie, and how you described it, because I feel like anyone listening can really resonate to that time of day, that elevated state, and how neither one of the partners are trying to hurt the other one, but they just hear a totally different message than what is actually said on both ends. And I think that's super relatable, because I definitely loved hearing you guys say that, because I'm like, oh man, I've totally been there. So I thank you guys for sharing that. And I loved that you were able to kind of flip the script and take accountability and understand each other's side and passively aggressive make amazing tacos all at once.
They were really good tacos.
They were so
I pickled radishes. Like I thinly sliced some radishes. I
Oh,
pickled them.
wow.
He did.
It was
He did.
Well, you had a lot of time on your hands because Stevie wasn't talking to you. So, you know, you
Right.
had.
I no, but it's not like I was on the other side of the house. No, I was sitting at the counter, just staring, like we were in the same room. I'm just watching him make these tacos.
Oh, man. That's amazing.
But no, I mean, it's like you said. It's you know, being able to understand each other and come at everything from a place of love. But even when you're frustrated, it is, you know, that time of day or on a weekend. Like right now, you know, we're on a 3-day weekend, and I think we're all like a little kind of up there just because, you know,
Yeah.
it's been a lot of togetherness, and just to kind of, we just have to give each other, we just have to be patient with each other and just, you know, give each other a little bit extra space and not take things too personally if I snap because the dog peed on the floor again. You know,
Right.
things like that.
Yeah, let's
Right.
not talk about that.
We won't go there.
But yeah, the only other thing I'd add is just the amount of taking the time. I mean, the beginning of a fight ends up being about emotion. The middle of a fight is about who's right and who's wrong. And if you could take the time, like even in the fights where I'm 100% sure I'm right, and I know I've got my ground staked. I'm the one who's right about this one. If I sit and stew in that rightness for 8 hours, it all looks silly eventually. It's like the rightness doesn't matter
Right.
anymore because
Well, and
the fight is tiny compared to what we've got. And so, and then Stevie's the same way. And trust me, she's way more right than I am, but right, more often than I am. But the times I am right and I feel like righteous in my rightness, that subsides over time because I'm like, why this isn't worth it? It's not even worth being right about this silly, stupid thing.
It's so true. Like when Tom and I fight, I remember the emotion and how I felt in that fight, but so often I have no idea what we were even like. I can look back and remember that one time, and I won't even know what we were fighting over, but I know how it made how hurt I was or how hurtful I was to you, you know, in that moment. So really good at wow,
Funny
you guys.
mentioned that 'cause
Yeah.
Stevie and I had to figure. How long do we try to remember what our fight was about? We remember
it
the
was
tacos. We
Yeah,
could not
remember
remember what
we're
was
like, how did that start? We couldn't even trace it back. We were just, but like you said, I remembered how mad I was. 'Cause,
Right.
Yeah, we were mad all the way through like the next day, and when we finally traced it back, I was like, oh right, because you told me to make dinner, and then it almost started all over again. But luckily we got past it. So
I
Yeah.
didn't tell you to make dinner. I asked you if you could figure out what you wanted for dinner.
Right.
I could still dinner.
No, I get it. You hear a totally different thing based on where you're at in your headspace. And let me tell you, between 4 and 7 p.m., I'm not in a good headspace. I'm 99.9% of the time not in a good headspace between 4 and 7 p.m. because that is when all hell breaks loose in the house and it's just total chaos. So,
Yep.
you can't say anything right. You can't do anything right in that moment, I feel like. But no, you guys have amazing insight. I feel like you could definitely go back to school and get a master's in relationships because you just gave us tremendous
and you
insight.
can market that and computer program that
Yeah.
degree,
right.
and then
Make an app and market it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, seriously. Yeah, thanks, guys. You guys, it's so funny. Lucy and I talk about this all the time. Like, I don't have feelings. I don't talk about feelings, but I
He
feel
sure
like we just
doesn't.
talked about feelings for like 20 minutes. So thanks, guys.
Yeah. I
I
love it.
learned.
I love talking about feelings because I have a husband that doesn't talk about feelings.
We'll talk about all the feelings.
Yep.
Well, thank
Well,
you guys so
I
much.
really appreciate you guys having us on, and I'm excited about your podcast. We listened to the first few episodes, and Tommy, I'm just excited to hear more from you guys. So congrats.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, you guys
Thank
were
you.
so cool to join, and a really great message too. I think this made me realize, wow, this show could actually affect people.
It could help
If you
people,
were
right?
actually
Not
good-
just do more fights.
We learn our way through things like
Yeah.
we just did. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Well, thank you guys so much.
All right,
Yeah,
thank you.
See you
so
guys.
much.
Have a great night.
You
You
too.
too.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Well, that was John and Stevie, and we did some learning there. They know how to handle arguments, and they know
Babe,
how to work through it.
I
learned
wanna-
some stuff.
I would pay John and Stevie to marriage counsel us.
We've got to call them at times,
And we've been
help
together
them.
almost as long as them, if not longer. But I feel like they've figured out a algorithm
Yeah.
of fighting and emotions that we could definitely use.
Yeah. I like it.
Yes.
Well,
thank you, John and Stevie.
the only vote for them is
Come back
they're
on.
awesome,
and
yeah.
give more advice. We'll
yeah.
like if we come to a standstill, we'll be like, well, let's call John and
oh,
Stevie.
they could be our standbys.
They could
Yeah,
be
they
the
could be our, and I think
standbys.
they would be down with it too.
They could totally be
Because
the
someone after they listened to the
standbys.
first couple episodes, they said you could have a couple people standing by like as like your witness, like you need a backup on something.
Call
so
a
we could just
friend.
call them.
Yeah.
We let them work through something that's beyond our capability.
Right. Awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. That was the Mom versus Dad show, and we will see you next time.
Thank you. Bye.